Can you imagine a time when the roar of a two-stroke engine was the sound of rebellion? Or when a six-cylinder motorcycle felt more like a race car on two wheels? In this video, we're going back in time to revisit 10 classic motorcycles that shaped a generation, defined their era, and then disappeared for good. These retro machines weren't just transportation. They were bold experiments in design and engineering, full of character and mechanical soul. Get ready for a ride through roaring engines, gas fumes, and the legacy of bikes that were too unique to last. Few motorcycles are as unforgettable as the Honda CBX 1000. Launched in the late 70s, it featured a six-cylinder inline engine, nearly unheard of on the streets. Its sound was a mechanical symphony, and its wide frame turned heads everywhere. It was raw power wrapped in striking design. The CBX symbolized Honda's willingness to push boundaries. With its retro styling and beastly performance, it won over true gearheads. But its time was short. Production ended in 1982 with no real successor. A glorious experiment that defined its moment and vanished like a passing comet. Harley-Davidson is known for big, burly cruisers, but in the late 70s, they broke the mold. The XLCR was their bold take on the European cafe racer trend. With a black fairing, high-mounted exhausts, and sleek lines, it looked more like a movie prop than a Milwaukee classic. But the market wasn't ready. Traditional Harley fans were confused, and cafe racer lovers looked elsewhere. Just a few years later, the XLCR was gone. No other Harley ever looked quite like it, which is why it remains a cult icon in retro motorcycle circles. If any bike scared even seasoned riders, it was the Kawasaki H2 Mach 4. With a two-stroke, three-cylinder engine, it was light, fast, and brutally unpredictable. The front wheel loved to lift, and the exhaust note became part of American street culture in the 70s. It was pure rebellion on two wheels. But as emission laws tightened, the H2's wild days were numbered. Production ended in 1975, and nothing quite like it ever returned. To this day, it's remembered as one of the most thrilling and dangerous bikes of the retro era. Inspired by Grand Prix racing, the Yamaha RZ500 was a street-legal rocket. With a two-stroke V4 engine, it delivered high performance in a lightweight package. For enthusiasts, it felt like riding a scaled-down race bike, edgy, fast, and exhilarating. Released in limited numbers in the US, the RZ500 quickly gained cult status. But the two-stroke era was ending, and its complexity turned away everyday riders. It was never brought back, making this one-year wonder a standout relic of Yamaha's boldest years. The Suzuki Re5 was a bold departure from the norm. Instead of pistons, it featured a Wankel rotary engine, quiet, smooth, and space-age for the 1970s. Its rounded, cylindrical gauges and futuristic styling only added to its uniqueness. But bold ideas don't always catch on. The engine puzzled mechanics, and buyers stayed away. Sales were slow, and the RE5 disappeared without a replacement. Today, it's remembered not just for its rarity, but as a glimpse into a time when manufacturers weren't afraid to dream differently. Post-World War II, Indian motorcycles tried to stay relevant with lighter, sportier models, like the Warrior TT. With a V-twin engine and clean lines, It was designed to fight off the rising popularity of British imports in the US. It was a quiet but significant departure from Indian's traditional designs, but the company was already in trouble. By 1953, production ended, and Indian went dormant for decades. The Warrior TT never returned, not even during later revivals. It remains a rare chapter in American motorcycle history, caught between eras. Few British bikes blended elegance and performance, like the Norton Commando 850 Mag III. With its parallel twin engine and rubber-mounted frame, it delivered a surprisingly smooth ride, and did so with unmistakable character and style. Released during a decline in British manufacturing, the Commando couldn't keep up with the wave of Japanese innovation. Production ceased in 1977, and although the Norton name has resurfaced since, this original version was never built again. It's a lasting tribute to an engineering legacy lost to time. The BSA Rocket 3 was Britain's answer to the Japanese invasion. With a muscular three-cylinder engine and more angular design than its Triumph cousin, the Rocket 3 was aimed at the American market and came loaded with attitude. Many confuse it with the modern Triumph rocket, but they're not related. The original Rocket 3 was discontinued in 1972 and never revived. It was BSA's final push before fading away, a bold machine that arrived too late to turn the tide. Long before the Pan America, Harley-Davidson dipped into off-road territory with the Baja 100. It was a lightweight dirt bike with a single-cylinder engine, built to compete in desert races and trail riding, a total departure from Harley's cruiser roots. But the idea didn't catch on. Traditional fans weren't interested, and off-road riders leaned toward Japanese alternatives. In 1973, Harley gave up on the Baja 100. It was never seen again, but in hindsight, it was a bold step, one the brand wouldn't repeat for decades. The Kawasaki KZ1300 was pure excess, and proud of it. Its liquid-cooled six-cylinder engine boasted 300 cc of raw force. It looked massive, sounded incredible, and came packed with futuristic features for its time. But its size and complexity made it hard to maintain, and few riders could handle it. Production ended in 1983, and no direct successor followed. The KZ1400 remains a monument to the daring spirit of the late 70s, when too much was exactly the point. These bikes defined their time and disappeared, but they still live on in the memories of those who rode or dreamed of riding during that golden age. And if you're into vehicles that only get better with time, check out our video on 10 vintage pickups that look better with age.